Welcome to Belatina's virtual pop-up shop, where we talk to extraordinary small business owners in the Latinx community and learn more about their business, their inspirations, and their aspirations. Today, I'm speaking with Puerto Rican business owner Shanique Rodriguez.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Shanique. Thank you so much for joining us. Where are you joining us from?
From Camden, New Jersey.
All right, New Jersey in the house.
Yes.
Could you tell us what is the name of your business?
My business is Art by Sir. It is a business that cultivates a lot of culture, not just Boricua culture, but I'm trying to embody uh, Latin culture.
Awesome. And what do you create and sell? What type of business is it?
So I currently sell canvas prints of my work, like this print that I'm sitting in front of. I also do jewelry where I hand paint earrings such as these, bangles. I'm getting into rings more, necklaces, and I also sell like stickers of my artwork, but pieces of it, not the whole painting itself. So like this painting, the middle piece, I sell stickers of this.
That's awesome. That's really great. When did you first have the idea to start a business?
I started Art by Sir back in 2016. I basically had no money, no funds, and I had to figure out a way. And this is how Art by Sir began.
Awesome. And so when you got the idea, it sounds like you went from idea to launch the business pretty quickly. Is that true?
Yes, well, I've been doing art since I was a little girl. And at the time, I was struggling and I was trying to figure out a means of doing, getting money some way, somehow. And it was a voice inside me. And I felt like it was God telling me, I gave you a gift. It's time for you to use it. So that's when I just started doing earrings and I started exploring, excuse me, with earrings.
That's dope. And so you have been in business for 4 years now, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. Um, so 4 years is a long time. And I feel like you touched on it a little bit, but where do you draw your inspiration from for your art, for your earrings, for the things that you're creating?
A lot of my inspiration come from my heritage. It started back when Hurricane Maria began. When that happened, I just wanted to do something that represent my culture, my island. And then from there, I was just like, you know what? I might as well do a series of Puerto Rican artwork because I really don't know much about my culture. Like being an American Puerto Rican is different than a Puerto Rican on the island because you're taught differently over there. You know your culture, you live it, you breathe it. Whereas here, it's a little different. So I wanted to learn who I was, um, where my family came from. So through my art, I've been learning about who I am, about my family, about my ancestors, and it's just been one big blessing.
That's awesome. And you bring up a really good point because, there's like, we're all Puerto Rican. I'm not Puerto Rican, but like you're all Puerto Rican, right? But there is a difference when you grow up in, on the island or versus in the US. And I think that oftentimes there's a difference, right? But there's also like oftentimes there's kind of like a shame around it. And so I love that you're like, this is something I'm acknowledging. Like I didn't grow up on the island, but I can still find ways to connect with my culture and to learn more about myself. And so I think that's really dope that you're doing that and that you're doing it through art and sharing it with others. What has been the most so I know what I'm assuming that I know what it is because I saw it on your Instagram and we talked about it in email. But I'm gonna give you the chance to say it. What has been like your biggest win with your business so far?
My biggest win so far was this year, Evie Queen rocking one of my earrings. When that happened, I couldn't believe it. Like it was something out of this world. Like it was unexpected. And I was just like, oh my God, the queen, the pioneer of reggaeton is like wearing my earrings. But not only did she wear my earrings, like that earring is displayed on a Bad Bunny remix. It's displayed on the Billboard awards as well. So seeing it just like constantly just roll over into other things is like, oh my God. So I could just sit in a car and just see my earrings displayed on the cover. Is just, it's phenomenal. So that's been like my biggest win so far.
That's amazing. Yeah, I was like, should I say it? Should she say it? I'm like, nah, she did it. Let her say it. So that's super amazing. And I guess the other question is, what has been the most impactful like customer experience that you've had?
The most impactful, whew, I have to think about this one. There's so many. I think the most impactful is seeing that there's little girls that watch me and they watch my movements and what I do. Especially I teach Latin art history. And a lot of my little girls from my class, they follow me like on TikTok and on my Instagram. So I'm not just an artist or I'm not just a creator or influencer. Like I'm a mentor. Like I am somebody that someone looks up to. So now I have to watch what I say, watch what I do, how I dress, because I have little girls looking up to me now. So that has been the most impactful because it kind of checks me in a way too. Like, I don't want these little girls just to think, she out here acting a fool and stuff like that. Cause I'm a little older, so I can act up when I want to. But I now have to be more mindful in what I do and what I say because I want them to see and know their worth, not just in art, but as, a woman, growing up in this society, because in this society we're taught like, basically, we're frowned upon in certain avenues, especially in the art world. I mean, the only artist that's really recognized female artist is Frida Kahlo, but there's so many other great artists out there that are females that are killing the game right now. And I want my little girls to see like I wanna be I don't wanna be Frida Kahlo, I wanna be Shaunique Rodriguez, I wanna be that Boricua artist that somebody looks up to, and if it has to take me, having these little girls watching me to check me every day, then I would be checked every day because it's rewarding to know when I sit there in class and my girls are like, "Oh my god, I seen this or I seen that." That's rewarding because they see my movements, so they know like when they get older, how they should represent themselves.
That's awesome. So we have you, small business owner, you out here hanging off of Evie Queen's ears and shit, and you're teaching Latin history, art history, which is like so. Yeah, that's so great to me because when we think about art history, we think about like the little naked babies, like painted on ceilings and stuff, or
Mhm.
like, and we don't like people when we, at least when I think art history, it's kind of been programmed to think about European art history, right? Like
Yeah.
even though the word isn't in front of art history, it's kind of like, at least for me, in like it's in front of art history.
Mhm.
So I think it's really dope that you are teaching Latin art history because it's so necessary. It exists, right? It
Yeah,
exists. It's part of the culture. It's part of who we are, and it also influences so many things that are happening today.
absolutely.
So, do you have any advice to, that young person who's sitting at home, who's an artist, but is nervous about either sharing their art or starting a business? Any words of advice or encouragement?
Words of encouragement, don't ever give up. It is a struggle daily. I've been doing this for 4 years now, and it's still struggles behind the scenes. Everybody just sees the wins, but they don't know what it takes to do it. And you constantly have to be your biggest motivation, your biggest fan, because there's going to be times where you may not sell nothing. And then there's going to be a good day where you're selling $3,000 worth of stuff. And you just never know. It's the name of the game of being an entrepreneur. So my biggest encouragement is just to never stop, never give in, to keep on going, even when there's a rough patch on the road, just keep it moving.
Awesome. So, don't give up. is what I'm hearing. I'm also hearing like learn about yourself and
Yeah,
like just for everybody, like learn about yourself, your history, and really remember that like art is a great teacher, and
yeah.
it's a great timekeeper as well. I feel like there's so much art that like tells us about our cultures within that moment, and you know it's really dope to be able to look at a piece of art and be like, oh, that was like made 200 years ago by someone who like lived in this country that I come from or my parents come from, or, you know, so I think that's super amazing. I love everything that you're doing. And where can people find you online and support your business?
So you can find me online on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, um, TikTok at Art by Sir, and that's ArtBysir. You can also find some of my pieces on my Etsy shop, and that's also Art by Sir.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shanique. I appreciate you chatting with Belatina. And I hope you have a great day and continue to make such amazing art.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this opportunity.